We'd like to welcome you to the Yes Prep Virtual College Fair. Thank you for everybody for joining us today. Before we get started, just a few quick housekeeping items. As this is a webinar, you will be interacting with the presenters via the Q&A button. You are welcome to send questions to specific schools or presenters, or you're welcome to send general questions to all schools. We would encourage you to use that feature throughout the presentation and ask whatever questions you may have. I'd also like to remind you that your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists will not be able to see or hear you. We'd also like to let you know that we are recording this session and it will be available about 1 week from today at the same site that you used to sign up for this session. So without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and introduce our first presenter, who will be Lamar University.
Okay, good morning. Thank you guys so much for having me. My name is Chastity Fields. I am a regional admission counselor with Lamar University. And I'm just going to be giving you guys some general information about the university and some of our programs and the cost of attendance and different things like that. So let's go ahead and get started. So some points of cardinal pride. Our campus is 270 acres. There are approximately 9,174 undergraduate students at Lamar. Lamar University is located in Beaumont, Texas, which is about 90 miles from Houston. We do have a 19-to-1 student to faculty ratio, meaning that you will be in fairly small class sizes compared to some universities. And so that means that you will get a lot of one-on-one time with your professors and you won't have to go through a teacher's assistant or anyone else really to talk with them and to build those relationships that are so important and vital. So we have more than 100 programs of study at Lamar. 743 students are employed by the university. We have students from 58 countries. 68% of our students receive financial assistance. The Texas Gulf Coast beaches are 1 hour away. So if you like to laze around in the sun, you definitely will have the chance to do that. And Lamar was founded in 1923. So within the university, we do have 5 different colleges. There's the College of Arts and Sciences, College of Business, College of Education and Human Development, College of Engineering, and then the College of Fine Arts and Communication. So you will kind of have to dig a little bit to see what particular field or major you want to study, and you would kind of have to see what it would fit into. But for example, if you wanted to do journalism, that would fall under the Fine Arts and Communication. If you wanted to do nursing, that would fall within College of Arts and Sciences. So for student organizations, we have over 200. We have fraternities, sororities, professional organizations, departmental organizations, honor societies, and mutual interests. Mutual interests, just to highlight those are really where you will get the chance to meet people who are similar, people who have a common interest, and it's just an opportunity for you to have fun and to make friends. And if you feel that out of the 200 organizations that we do have on campus, that none of them are a good fit for you, you will have the opportunity to create your own organization. I believe you only need 2 or 3 other people to back you, and then you can start your own club. I've heard stories of a student named Trey who started an organization and he celebrates himself every day of the week. He's got a lot of self-love. So if you love yourself that much and you want everyone else to share in that love, you will definitely have the chance to do that at Lamar. So for athletics, we are ranked Division I, and there is a bit of variance between what we offer for men and for women, but you should know that these sports that are in this little yellow bubble, those are going to be the more organized ones, and those are sponsored. And then the club and the intramural sports, those are just a little bit more casual, a little bit more about having fun. So it all depends on you and your schedule and what exactly you want to do and what kind of commitment you want to have in terms of playing sports at Lamar. So for admissions, we have adjusted our policies because of the world of COVID that we are living in right now. But for an initial application review, we will need your high school transcript and any other applicable transcripts that you may have, whether that be dual credit. Students who are dual credit with 18 or more hours, as well as a 2.0 GPA, will be automatically accepted, and students that are ranked top 50% or higher will be strongly considered. So if you are inadmissible based on the initial application review, your application will receive a secondary review, which will include the freshman appeal process and submitting test scores to us. So please know that anyone who is ranked top 50% does not have to submit those test scores to us. So anyone who doesn't fall in that would typically be unranked and homeschooled students, as well as students who fall in the lower half of their class. And you guys can see on the screen those test scores that we are going to be looking for when we receive them from you. So the application process is fairly simple. You submit your application to us through Apply Texas, and then again, you submit all applicable transcripts to us. Those are really important since we are not requiring test scores, that we do get those transcripts so that we can make a decision. So this is the general cost of attendance. It is approximately $10,000. It is variable depending on how many classes you take, which room, dorm option you choose, which meal plan option you choose, but it is generally about $10,000. So just kind of plan accordingly using these numbers. So for housing and residence life, we do have apartment style dorms, so no community bathrooms. So you guys will have access to private bedrooms, and we have 3 options within these graphics that you guys can see here. So the first one is going to be a private bedroom. The next is going to be a shared bedroom with bunk beds. And then the third option is going to be an individual private room. So the difference between these 3 options is that whether you are in the private room or the shared room, in the graphic on the left, there's 3 people in that bathroom. And then in the graphic on the right, there's going to be 2 people in the bathroom. So for scholarships, we do have quite a bit for you guys. And the only one that is on here that doesn't require a GPA or a class rank is going to be the Smith-Hudson. That one is based on academic achievement and need. But the starting GPA for all of these scholarships is going to be a 3.65, and then they increase as the amount of the scholarship increases. And then the class rank is going to be top 25%. So for visiting campus, we have several opportunities. We have Cardinal Boo coming up on Halloween. So if you guys wanted to come out and get a quick tour of the campus, you can definitely do that. But for all of our dates, you should definitely visit lamar.edu/visit to see them and find one that best suits your schedule. So last but not least, this is our contact information. On the right is my contact information. Again, I do cover Southwest Houston. And then on the left, you will see contact information for our, I believe she covers South or Northeast Houston. So this is Rebecca and I am Chastity. And thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time, and definitely let us know if you have any questions.
Great. Thank you very much, Lamar University. For those of you who may have joined us a little bit late, just a reminder, you're welcome to send questions to any of the panelists via the Q&A feature. Up next for us today is Stephen F. Austin State University.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. Alrighty. So we will go ahead and get started. Very briefly, I want to introduce myself. My name is Natalia De La Sprea. I'm one of the regional coordinators here at SFA. So I cover the entire South Houston area. If you guys have any questions about anything at all regarding your application status, if you're missing anything, I'm your go-to person. If you want to snap a picture of my email, I highly recommend doing so. I'm here to help you. So as much as you interact with me, I will answer those questions as I get them. So please let me know if you guys need anything at all. So I want to talk about SFA as a whole really quickly, and then we'll kind of dive into all of the logistics. So SFA has been around for over 95 years, and our average size at the university is just under 13,000 students. So not too big, not too small, kind of just right in the middle. So it's big enough to where you'll see familiar faces every day, but small enough to where your classes are super intimate with your professors. We are in the deep East Piney Woods of East Texas. So if that is something that you're looking for, to be out in kind of like a nature setting, not in a big city, SFA is tucked away in East Texas. And then we have a lot of different areas of study for you. So depending on what you want to major in, we probably have it, from nursing to education, business, agriculture, you name it, we have it. So I want to run through our admissions checklist because that is typically the most popular questions that we get. So first and foremost, I'd like to say that SFA has a pretty easy application process. Number one thing that I'm going to need from you guys is your application on Apply Texas. If you have not created an account there, please go ahead and do that. That's the only place that you'll find our application. The second thing is your application fee or fee waiver. It is a $50 application fee. If that is an issue for you at all, do not hesitate to reach out to me. We will figure something out. And then your official high school transcript, they have to come from your high school. Officially, we do not take unofficial transcripts for decision-making purposes. So make sure that you talk to your counselors and your college advisors to help you get those turned into us. And then this year, the SAT and ACT is optional. So if you can take the exam, by all means, please do so. I highly recommend doing it. It's going to be more beneficial for you in the long run. So if you can take the exam, highly recommend doing so, so that it's a benefit for you in the long run. There's a lot of scholarships that SFA has that require the SAT or ACT. Some do, some don't. So it's just better to kind of have those all put together. Okay. Oh, let's go back up a second. So this is our freshman admissions chart. I don't want you to freak out when you see this. This is just so you can kind of get an idea. Everything top 25% and up is an automatic admission, and then you can kind of see where you fall. Otherwise, like I said, the ACT and ACT is optional, so don't think that if you don't fall into this chart, you're not gonna get admitted. So don't freak out there. I wanna run through some of our traditions. SFA is a very traditional college and university. If you're looking for that type of setting and going off to a university and get that full college experience, SFA has a lot of different traditions that we offer to our students. I do wanna talk about our housing really quickly. On-campus housing is available for all of our students. All of our freshmen are required to live on campus through their junior year. So we have community style or resident or apartment style residence hall. So it just kind of depends on what you are looking for. Most of our upperclassmen residence halls are that apartment style, which is very popular to our students. I myself lived on campus all 4 years at SFA, and I loved it. So it just depends on what you're kind of looking for. You can pick your roommates. You can request to have a special roommates your freshman year. So if that's something that you want and you meet somebody at like Jack Camp or orientation, you can request for them to be roommates as well. So again, those are just requirements that we have for our freshmen. This year, due to COVID, those requirements were lifted. But I believe as soon as that things are back to normal, all freshmen will be required to live on campus again. I do want to talk about our student involvement. This is something that SFA is very, very proud of. All of our student organizations are very, very much involved on campus. This number is up to 220 different organizations on campus, and you can see that they vary from a bunch of different areas, from Greek life to community service. Our famous Purple Santa is our one of our biggest charity events of the whole year. It raises toys for students in need and things like that. So if you're interested in getting involved on campus, SFA is the place to do it. Students are typically involved in at least 2 or 3 different organizations during their time at SFA. So and it really helps you immerse yourself into the culture and the lifestyle in Nacogdoches. So moving on, I do see some questions about sports here in the Q&A, so I'll answer those really quickly. We are an NCAA D1 school, so we offer everything from men's football, basketball. We have a women's soccer team, not men's. I do see that in the chat, so we have everything except for men's soccer. And then really quickly, I want to run through all of our colleges. So we have the College of Business, College of Education, Fine Arts, Forest and Agriculture, Liberal and Applied Arts, and then last but not least, the College of Science and Mathematics. This is our brand new STEM building, and it opened up in the fall of 2018. It's a beautiful, all state-of-the-art, multi-million-dollar building for all of our STEM students. So nursing is also a very big major at SFA, so if you're interested in that, it is a very, very good program with an over 96% passing rate on the NCLEX. So yeah, any questions that I can answer briefly in the chat before I run out of time? I see a question about academic advising at SFA. Yes, academic advising is required for all of our students at SFA before you get to register for the next semester. So advising is very, very helpful. It helped me stay on track and make sure that I was taking all the classes that I needed and classes that I did not need. I actually would have been pretty lost without academic advising, so it's super, super helpful. Any other questions, you guys? Okay, I'll be hanging out in the chat, and if you guys need any other questions, I will be in the chat. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Stephen F. Austin. For those of you who just joined us, please do feel free to send any questions you may have via the Q&A function. Next up today is Texas A&M University-Kingsville.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Thanks again for being out here. I am the Regional Admissions Counselor for Houston for Texas A&M University-Kingsville. A little bit about our university. So you see there where we're located. We're about roughly about 4 hours from Houston. We were founded in 1925, so we're the oldest school located in South Texas. So we are actually in South Texas. I know that's a kind of a weird confusion line for some people, but faculty-student ratio, we are about 1 to 22 right now. Our average class size is about 25 to 30, but the biggest building we have on campus that actually houses classes only seats about 50 students. So we don't have any auditorium-sized classes or anything like that. I believe when I went there, biggest classroom I had was about 27 students. So it gets a lot less people in your classes, especially junior, senior years. So we definitely try to keep class sizes small, probably nothing that you have bigger than high school. Total population, we are at about 9,000 students. So we are a pretty medium-sized, small, medium-sized campus. Our campus isn't too big. I didn't have a car there my entire time or anything like that. So our campus is easily walkable. We have a bunch of shuttles that take you around. So if transportation is anything of an issue, definitely wouldn't be at our campus either. We are in a very unique area. So we are if you ever visit Kingsville, it's a very rural area. We got a lot of wildlife, a lot of branches, very open area. So we have a lot of unique internships, a lot of unique research opportunities too. We have a serpentarium, a couple ranches on campus. We have a vet tech program with the actual veterinary clinic located in that program. So we take in animals from the community and actually perform, surgeries, boarding, housekeeping, everything like that for our students out there. We are also located right across the King Ranch too. So if you are interested in studying like agriculture or some type of animal science or any type of ranching kind of a area, we have really, really unique internships that really are unique to us just because of where we're located right across in conjunction with the King Ranch. Some fun things to do out there. We are NCAA Division II. We do have pretty much every major sport but soccer. So I don't have men's or women's soccer, but we do have a very, very lively campus that put on. We have a full intramural field for our students. So we have a couple of soccer fields, a full-length football field, about 8 tennis courts, beach volleyball courts. We even have cricket courses out there. So we have quite a big intramural complex for our students. Student organizations wise, we do have Greek class, we have fraternities and sororities, we have academic clubs. So pretty much every one of our majors pretty much has their own club. And then we have some hobby or fun clubs, as I like to say, but yeah, there's about 150 of those. The biggest one, we have a hunting club that's about 500 students, but fairly easy to start one as well. So if you just want to start one, you basically just need 3 other students, attend a meeting, and you're pretty much good to go. But we have our biggest events could be spring and fall carnival. Homecoming week is huge down there. We do a bonfire, do something called a hog call. So we do quite a bit during homecoming. And then study abroad programs, we do offer study abroad throughout the year as well. So if you're interested in actually taking courses internationally, that's an opportunity we give you also. These are our 5 colleges. We do have some unique kind of programs in each college. So our biggest one is going to be engineering. That's kind of what we're best known for. But we do have some very unique programs in all of our colleges. Like I said, we have the only vet tech 4-year program in the state of Texas. So that's one that's kind of gaining a lot of popularity lately. And you'll see some other ones too. And these are all going to be viewable online as well. So if you want to go more in depth into what we're offering. You will see our admissions requirements later, but our College of Engineering does require a little bit on the math in order to get in there. These are our application requirements, fairly easy, fairly simple. We don't need an essay or you don't need anything extra, anything like that. We just basically need your transcripts, test scores, and a $25 application fee. Again, if you're having trouble paying the application fee, please feel free to reach out to me and we'll definitely get that taken care of. We definitely don't want the application to be kind of what's stopping your application from getting a decision. We are going test optional. So because of the world, kind of what's going on, we are offering test options to our students for fall 2021. So if you can't take an ACT or SAT test score, we will individually review your application. And basically we'll put more emphasis kind of on your GPA, your rank, and your extracurriculars. So definitely on the extracurricular portion of the Applied Texas, if you are going test optional, that is a very important one. That will also be used the same criteria for all of our scholarships as well. So most of our scholarship does use test scores, but once if you are going test optional, most of our scholarships will transition to that same kind of method. This is our chart basically for shared admissions if you are sending in a test score. So we do go by ranks, percentage pretty much. So top 25, then you see 26 to 50, 51 to 75. 76 to 100, and the kind of test score that you meet to go with that. So basically, if you've made a 23 and 1140, you'll be automatically admitted no matter what. But you'll see that top 10% automatically admitted. Again, this is a lot quicker process. If you do go test optional, it may take just a couple of, maybe a week or so longer because we do have to individually review that. But this is just our shared admissions criteria if you are sending in a test score. And we also do recommend sending in a test score too, so that would be kind of a better option too. This is cost of attendance. We're just right under 10,000 for a full academic year. We do have 4 residences halls. All of them are suite style living. And then we have one all male, one all female. And that's my contact information. So if you want to go ahead and take a picture of that. It says Lower Rio Grande Valley, but I do both Houston, Lower Rio Grande Valley. So that's kind of the reason why it says that. But if you want to just take a picture of that, I'll be your main point of contact throughout the whole entire process. From getting admitted to the moment you move in, I'll be there with you. Yeah, so we definitely hope to see you at Javelina Nation, and I'll be sticking around here, sticking any chats or anything like that. So thank you all again.
Thank you, Texas A&M Kingsville. Up next for us today is Concordia University.
All right, good morning, everybody. Let me just get my screen up here. Okay. The joys of technology. All right. So thank you guys so much for coming. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about who we are at Concordia University, Chicago from the beginning. We were founded in 1864 as a teaching college, but we have since expanded into a full-fledged liberal arts university with 5 colleges that you can choose from. We are a Lutheran Church Missouri Synod affiliated school, otherwise known as LCMS. I will say what that means is you do not have to be a member of the LCMS congregation to come to our school or be welcome at our school or feel good at our school. To us, it just means we try and encompass those Lutheran values like service and integrity, compassion, and kindness. So I think all those are just objectively good things to try and strive for as we develop ourselves as human beings. All right, so we are a very small school. We are only at about 1,500 undergraduate students at the moment. We do have about 4,500 graduate students on our campus as well, but your classes for the next 4 years are going to be among those 1,500 undergraduate students. So that means you're going to really be able to get that individual attention from your professors, which is just again an objectively good thing in my opinion. But we'll talk about that a little bit more. We do have residence halls and facilities available on campus, top of the line, of course. Our residence halls range from suite style living to apartment style living, from co-ed floors to male and female floors, and I'm happy to answer any specific questions you guys have about any of our residence halls or facilities. We have over 70 academic majors and programs across our 5 colleges to choose from. In the next slides, I'll go over a little bit more about what those are exactly. and we are an NCAA D3 athletics program. So we have 17 different men's and women's sports teams, and again, we'll kind of touch on those a little bit later in another slide. And I am gonna just pause for a second to say, I'll be able to monitor the Q&A a little bit more after my presentation. So if you could just put a little CUC next to your questions so that I know that they're for me, that would be super helpful. All right, so a little bit back into our academic programs here at Concordia University. I did go ahead and include a little QR code in the bottom there. So if you wanna kind of explore the different programs that we have available that aren't listed here on the screen, definitely would recommend doing that to see, for you to get the chance to see if what you're looking for in a program is here at Concordia. So, you know, I mentioned we did start off as a teaching school way back when, and we still are really well known for our education program here at Concordia. We are nationally recognized for being able to prepare high quality teachers to send out to shape young minds. So if you're interested in finding a really great teaching program, definitely would recommend getting in touch with me so we can talk a little bit more about what we have to offer. We have elementary, secondary ed. We actually have a really great state-of-the-art early childhood education facility here on campus. So you'd be able to access that right from the beginning of your studies. A few other of our popular programs on campus are programs like psych, sports management, our pre-med and health sciences programs. We have a joint nursing program that is a very successful program for our students. But again, we have tons more to offer and would definitely recommend you checking out what else we have down there with that QR code. All right, so a little bit about the campus involvement opportunities we have at Concordia. We have over 45 clubs and student organizations, and those are going to range from fun things like that improv comedy club that we have. We have an e-gaming club, we have an art club, but we also have more academically focused clubs. We have that honors program, we have a College of Business specific major club and organization, and we also are going to have tons of opportunities for you to get involved in volunteering and ministering to our campus and to the city of Chicago and the nearby area. So tons of opportunities to get involved in. If we do not have a club that you are really passionate about, it's super easy to start one up here on campus. All right, going back to our athletics, I included another QR code on this slide so you can go directly to our athletics website to kind of check out all the different things we have to offer. But as I mentioned, we have men's and women's teams available for you. We're at NCAA Division III school, which means we can't give sports-related scholarships, but we will talk a little bit about scholarship opportunities later. We do get a high percentage of student athletes. It's a very popular program on campus. Our athletics programs across the board are very popular because, you know, again, we'll talk a little bit about the community on campus, but Concordia Chicago is very much heavily based in fostering communities and familial vibes on campus, very home away from home. And you can definitely get connected with a coach by checking out that QR code that I have included there. That's just a nice picture that I like to show off of campus because I think it gives a good perspective on where we are in relationship to Chicago. You can kind of see the city skyline back there in the distance. I think our student services are a great thing to talk a little bit about here at Concordia Chicago. We're going to be able to build you a kind of team of people around you supporting you all the way through your experience with us. We're going to have opportunities for you to get help with your professional goals. You know, we have our Student Success Center that's going to help you build your resume and get ready for what's after college. Here's just a couple points as to why I think CUC is so special. You know, again, we're that smaller school, so we have the opportunity to give you that individual attention across the board. We are, you know, very proudly that home away from home for so many of our students. We're able to kind of ensure that we're going to be able to support you and to finding your post-graduation success, your vocation, your place in the world. As you could see in that picture, we're very close to Chicago, but not quite there. So we have a nice residential field for you to kind of exist in all the time, but you have lots of opportunities in the city. and 100% of our students receive merit scholarships. So that's just, our financial aid packages are really, truly amazing. So I would love to talk to anybody about what that means. Here, I'll just stop by this page a little bit so you can get that QR code in case you want to check out our application. It's totally free. We're test optional for 2021, so all you're going to need to give us is your application, which is very easy to fill out, and your official high school transcripts. Here's a quick, my info was up there, but I can, if you have any questions for me, pop those in the chat and we can get in touch.
Thank you, Concordia. And yes, please do feel free to send any additional questions you have via the Q&A feature. Up next for us is University of Texas at Tyler.
All right, hello everyone. Can y'all see this?
We can see you, we're not seeing your screen.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Let me escape that. Okay, I did forget to share the screen. All right, can y'all see it now?
Yes, looks good.
Okay, awesome. So UT Tyler is a small to medium-sized university located in East Texas, Tyler, Texas to be exact. It's probably about 4 hours from Houston, so not too bad, just a day's drive. We are right now offering automatic admission to our top 25% high school graduates. So if you're in there, you figure out that you're admitted real quick. For anyone below that criteria, it will be a 2.75 minimum GPA. We are offering some financial aid packages and scholarships. One of them being the Presidential Fellow, which is a full ride. All you gotta have is a 3.75 GPA or above. We do have the Patriot, which is much more obtainable. It ranges from $1,000 to $5,000 each year. The criteria for that one is a 3.5 plus high school GPA. And then we also have one merit one called the Academic Excellence, and this is reserved for our top 25% high school graduates. It is $2,000 each year, and that's renewable for all 4 years. We also have many other departmental scholarships and other scholarships on our website. One thing that makes our university very unique is our small class size. So it's only 19:1 student to faculty ratio, which is smaller than most other universities in Texas. We do have that more personalized, hands-on approach to learning, so you're going to be interacting with your professor a lot throughout the academic year. We do have more than 80 fields of study, and if you go ahead and drop some questions after this, I'd be happy to answer more on that. We do have a great sense of community. We love our Tyler and East Texas community. We do a lot of community outreach, and we encourage our students to do that as well. We have many opportunities throughout the year to do that. We have over 100 clubs and organizations that are student-led. We are Division II athletics, so we offer some athletic scholarships, and we are located in the city of Tyler. It is a mid-sized city, so about 100,000 people. It is the hub for all of this East Texas region, the Northeast Texas region. We do have some excellent housing options. We have 5 in total. They're all very nice and clean and great, especially for freshmen. We do have the traditional dormitory style living, and that one is going to be our Ornelas Hall. And we have 4 additional apartment complexes, and freshmen are allowed to live in 3 of the 4. So that is one plus. And also, as a freshman, you can own a car and park on campus. We do have many options as far as dining. We actually have 3 Starbucks and an excellent cafeteria. We do have a lot of traditions. We really like to have fun, so there's many opportunities to party here. We do one event where it's the most of the freshmen come, and the school rents a DJ and buys pizza, and it's just a blast. Also, we love our sports. We have 7 men's sports and 9 women's sports. Why UT Tyler? It is very affordable in comparison to most other major universities. We got vibrant student life. There's always something going on, and our campus is blanketed with loads of pine trees because we are in the piney woods of East Texas. So if you are interested, you can go ahead and go to our website, uttyler.edu. Here is my contact information below. There's my email. So if you have any additional questions that come up after this, I can go ahead and help you out. I am going to view the chat real quick. For everything included, it is about $18,000. So that's room, board, books, all those fees. Yes, we do offer nursing, and our nursing program, we have one of the highest pass rates in Texas as far as the NCLEX exam. The average cost per semester is going to be split in half, so probably close to $9,000 with everything included. Our campus is not rural, but it's not exactly urban. It is located in the city of Tyler, right in the city, so it's not like in the middle of nowhere. So it is a nice medium-sized city, so it takes about 15 minutes to get around. Anyways, I am gonna hand this back to the next presenter. Thank y'all so much for sticking around, and I enjoyed watching all the other universities' presentations.
Thank you very much, UT Tyler. Now we're going to move to our final presentation, Midwestern State University.
All right, let me get my screen up here, guys. Okay, so my name is Jonathan Henderson. I'm the Regional Admissions Counselor for Midwestern State University for your area. We don't have a whole lot of time today, so I am going to breeze through this pretty swiftly, and I'll try to keep an eye on the Q&A as I can and see what I can answer as it comes up. So if you don't know where Midwestern State University is, we're located in Wichita Falls, which is just about 2 hours northwest of Dallas-Fort Worth. So we're still in Texas, but we're on the Oklahoma border. We're in a town of about 120,000 people. And I would say it's a pretty similar feel to a school like UT Tyler. Like you said before, we're not too rural, we're not too urban. It's situated in the middle of Wichita Falls. We have around 6,000 students, which puts us on the smaller side of public universities in the state of Texas. We have an 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and it's one big green space of open campus on 255 acres. And we are also the only public liberal arts college in the state of Texas. So we like to say that gives you more of a private school feel at a bit of a public school price, which I'll get to price here in just a few minutes. So as far as stuff to do on campus, we have over 20 different recreational sports. We are Division II and part of the Lone Star Conference. The only major sport that we don't really offer is men's baseball. We got rid of it in the 80s for some reason, not sure why. We have over 14 sororities and fraternities and over 100 different student organizations. I created my own student organization while I was on campus, and we did a lot of stuff with that, and that was a pretty fun way to, get involved in something even if the school doesn't offer it right away. That's a pretty simple process to go about doing. We have Lots of different stuff for students to do on campus. We have lots of restaurants on campus as well, and a very, very active gym on campus, a really huge wellness center for students to take advantage of. As far as housing goes, we have 4 different dorms and 2 apartment complexes that are on campus. And then we own 2 apartment complexes that are just down the road from campus. And there's a large number of apartments and affordable housing around campus. We do require students to live on campus for the first year. If they are an incoming freshman from high school, you can live in pretty much any place on campus, though the apartments are traditionally reserved for juniors and seniors. But if there is an opening, we will let freshmen into those. I've lived both on and off campus when I was a student at Midwestern, and both were really awesome. So you can see a list of our different facilities there. We also have what's called living learning programs, where you'll live with and around students who are in your major. So you can study with those students, get involved with those students, and you are also assigned a mentor who will be available to you pretty frequently, and they will be someone, an upperclassman from that major or a professor from that major who can come into y'all's dorms actually and work with you on stuff. So it's a really cool opportunity for students. And we actually have about an 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio also, which means you're going to get a lot of individual attention from our professors. I used to be an instructor of English at Midwestern State, so I taught freshman English. My classes were no bigger than 20. My smallest was around 15. And then when I was a student, my smallest class when I was a senior was about 5 students. So we do have pretty small classes and lots of availability for students to get individual help. You can see here all of the different majors and minors that we offer in our 6 colleges. There's too many to list in the time frame we have, but we do have all of the different majors and minors that you're probably expecting a public university to have, as well as specializations in each that you can kind of see on these slides. We also have 6 different pre-professional programs in dentistry, medicine, pharmacy, physical therapy, law, and vet. We also have a lot of different special programs like our Red Line Honors Program, our Study Abroad Program, which goes to 6 different countries. We have undergraduate research that we'll fund for students, lots of different opportunities for students to really get involved and get a lot extra out of their education. As far as admissions go, we are test optional for the fall 2021 year and spring. You can see our admissions requirements here. We have requirements if you've taken the SAT or the ACT, and then some if you haven't. But traditionally, we do automatic admission if you have a 3.0 GPA or you are in the top 25% of your class. There is a requirement for certain courses if you're under that, but it is not very difficult to get in. We do a holistic review of the student's application and then apply some standards we have to it. And we usually can give an admittance pretty quickly to students. We also have a Vernon College to MSU plan. So if you're not right where we want you at to get admitted to college, we have a partnership with our junior college across the street to help get you ready while you'll still be a student at MSU and live on MSU's campus. We cost around $9,000 per semester for room and board and tuition and fees. So that's about $18,000 per year. That's for 15 credit hours, so it can vary just a little bit, kind of depending on what you take. We also offer a free tuition program called our Mustangs Guarantee. To qualify for that, you need to be a Texas resident, your family makes less than $65,000 a year, and you're eligible for the Pell Grant. After that, we will apply your grants and any scholarships you have, and then we will write off the rest of your tuition, so it's free for those students. About 75% of students get financial aid, and 70% of the students I recruited last year got our free tuition program as well. You can see some extra merit scholarships we offer as well. These are sort of our welcome to MSU scholarships. They're based strictly on your SAT or your ACT scores. And then we have some distinguished scholarships for $7,000. Our honors program offers between $4,000 and $7,000 if you get into it. And we have a full ride scholarship for first generation students called the Pretty Scholars Program. And if you're interested in coming to MSU, like I said, we're still in Texas. You can find out how to tour with us here. And if you're interested, just go to our admissions website, and we are happy to answer any questions that you might have at any time. So that's my time, and thank you very much.
Great, thank you very much, Midwestern State. And thank you to all the panelists, and thank you to all the attendees with all the questions coming in. We have about a minute left, so we'll let people continue to look through the questions, but don't worry, all of our presenters will be getting a transcript of these questions. So if they did not have a chance to answer your questions during the presentation, they can follow up with you afterwards. But again, thank you. As they are looking through the final questions, I'm going to go ahead and just cover some kind of final housekeeping items before we end this session. Again, we want to thank everybody, thank all of our presenters, and thank all of our attendees for joining us today. We also want to remind you that after this session ends, you will receive a very quick 4-question survey that we ask you to take a minute and complete. We also remind you that in addition to the presenters getting the transcript of the questions, a recording of this session will be available on the same website that you used to sign up for the session. So please check back in about a week to review the presentations. But we are at our time, so thank you, everybody, and good luck in your college search. Have a good day.